So I know this is late. I know this is a late review, but I finally sat down and watched Incredibles 2 after months and months of, like, first I missed it when it came out in theaters, and then I was putting off watching it, and I kept forgetting, and I kept thinking to myself, I'll watch it today, but today I actually sat down and watched Incredibles 2. I sat down and watched it. I gotta say, it's worth the wait. It was certainly, worth seeing. I would have liked seeing it on the big screen, but hey, as long as I got to see it, that was really cool. I'm happy that I still got to see. I still get to see this movie, and yeah. I don't know. I don't think this will be a long review because everything I'm sure people have said. It's already been said about this movie. It was great. If you haven't already watched it, I'd say go check it out. It was definitely worth waiting over 20 years, almost 20 years, over 20 years, or almost 20 years for the movie. Because this was really fun. As I've said before, The Incredibles is kind of like Watchmen for kids. That's kind of what, that's what the first Incredibles felt like to me. It felt like Watchmen for kids. And this really does play with that. And the whole crux of the story is getting supers back into the spotlight, and whatever supers are left in the world are trying to support this. And you've got this one guy who's, you know, having Elastigirl have her be the forefront of this new era of superheroes, and along the way, you know, battle the Screenslaver. Now, the Screenslaver, this movie's been out a while, so I'm definitely going to spoil some shit, but anyway, the Screenslaver, let's talk about the Screenslaver real quick. I like this villain. I really like her. Yes, it's a her, it's the guy's sister, and it's kind of obvious from the get-go. It really does, like, the moment you think to yourself, yeah, that's the Screenslaver. That is definitely the Screenslaver. But I like using people's screens and forms of hypnosis. That's really cool. I really dug that. I like how the whole thing, you know, her whole backstory of it's because of you, you know, if my father didn't put so much hope in supers, my parents would still be alive. But on the other hand, I'm like, yeah, but that wasn't, you know, those guys died because of Syndrome. The heroes your dad was trying to call were not just because they were outlawed. I'm pretty sure he had a home line if he trusted them that much, so if anyone you want to blame, Syndrome, because if I remember, you know, Gazer Beam was killed by Syndrome, one of Syndrome's robots, and I think the other Pyro guy, I can't remember the full name, but I'm pretty sure he got killed too by one of Syndrome's robots. So if anyone you want to point the finger at, it's another villain. But you can make the argument of, like, you put too much faith in heroes regardless, and you know, that whole spiel. So she's almost like a Lex Luthor kind of thing of, you know, well, actually, Luthor is more egotistical. I take that back. She's more vengeance-driven and more like, yeah, we put too much faith in you, and you know, you failed us anyway. So I dug the character. I think I like Syndrome a little more. But Screenslaver was really cool. Underminer was also a fun villain at the beginning. I just wish they, like, found Underminer again and fought him again, but I also like the damage control. Like, there's this moment after the whole event, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. You know, the banks would be insured in case some crazy shit like that happened and people lost their money. So if anything, they made it worse in a way, but still, like, it's still kind of you know, being a super and being outlawed is kind of fucked. You know, it's still kind of a fucked situation. I really dig the family dynamic in here. There is some moments where it does feel like Mr. Mom, and those scenes do get a little slow, but when it picks up getting back to Elastigirl, you know, getting back to Helen, it really picks up again. And I really like the pace of where it goes with those scenes. Also, another standout character, in my opinion, Violet. Violet really comes out of her shell in this movie. We see her, like, organizing all these plans. We see her actually fight more. There's actually a kick-ass fight between her and another mind-controlled superhero named Void. I really dug that fight. And it really shows of, like, damn, she can fight. Like, wow. There's also some great moments with Jack, who's another crux of this story. I especially love the fight between Jack Jack and the raccoon. Definitely one of the best super-powered fights, and this is the weirdest thing I'm going to say. It's one of the best superhero fights I've seen in a movie. I swear. The fight between Jack Jack and the raccoon is awesome. But yeah, Dash also has some good scenes. Bob, Mr. Incredible, I do like how it plays with his ego, and, you know, but at the same time, you could make the argument that a lot of the problems stem from his ego, and him trying to, you know, him facing that was really good. I wish they would a little more into that, and, but aside from that, I'm fine with it. Trying to think of what else I want to talk about with this movie. But like I said, people have already talked the hell out of this movie, guys. There's been enough reviews on it. I just wanted to say, hey, I watched the movie. I thought it was good. But yeah, I'm sorry it took me so long to finally get to this movie. And I was like, damn, I was really putting off this review for a while. So, apologies for that. Oh, man. But still, if you haven't seen it already, go check it out, even though I've essentially spoiled the whole goddamn thing for you. I'm pretty sure at this point, it's been like 4 months. It's been like almost 6 months, guys. You guys, it's been like, I think a little over 6 months. I'm pretty sure, you know, seeing this movie was good. You know, seeing that you had plenty of time to see this movie before this review. But, yeah. Definitely, it was definitely a sequel worth waiting for. It did touch on a lot of the problems that the first film had in, you know, those kind of social moments in there. The Elastigirl moments are awesome. The action is really on point, and all the character stuff as a family is really good too. I really enjoyed the hell out of this. It almost makes me. I know we're probably not going to get it. I know we will probably not get this movie, but it kind of makes me wish for an Incredibles 3. Like, just to, like, I know, like, what they've said, we're not going to do Incredibles 2, but they also said they weren't going to do Toy Story 3. I'm just saying, like, excuse me, you weren't going to do a Toy Story 4, and you're doing Toy Story 4. In fact, I remember somewhere that you said that you weren't going to do any more sequels, Pixar, after Incredibles 2. But I guess with Toy Story 4, that Disney just, you know, really muscled you into that. So, yeah. But anyway, so maybe we could get Incredibles 3 and really talk about, like, now that supers are back, where is their place in the world, and what kind of consequences follow suit now that heroes are back. Does that mean more villains are going to come out of hiding now that there's heroes back? It's kind of like a, you know, reaction thing that, you know, like Vision talked about, of like how since the Avengers arrived, you know, all these kind of threats kind of came out of the woodworks to be like, you know, like the universe is making a reaction to it. So I'd like to see them kind of maybe tackle that if they ever do a third movie of like all of the villains that, you know, Mr. Incredible and Elastigirl and Frozone fought came out of the woodworks again. I don't know, maybe, but that's just me though. So you guys tell me in the comments below, what did you guys think of Incredibles 2? Did you guys like it, hate it? Comment below, let me know. What do you guys think if we did get a third movie? What would you guys want from it? Really curious to see what you guys have to say about that. And yeah, once again, hope you all enjoyed this, and I will see you guys later.